Sigal is a six-figure Amazon book flipper, a BookMine user, and living proof that you can have a 9 to 5 full-time job and still crush it with Amazon book flips as a side hustle. Of course, I'm joined by my co-host here, Victor Gallegos, and of course, the star of the show, Sigal. What is going on?
I came back from work and started sourcing, and that's my normal day.
Nice. We're definitely going to dive into exactly how you do it because, a lot of people are wondering if it's possible, to do that with a 9 to 5 job. And so, yeah, it's going to be, again, ton of value here. Victor, what's going on, man?
What's up, Joji? I think bringing further proof that people from all walks of life can do books at either full time or part time, and just continue to show that that's a possibility. And actually, even hear Seagal's story is actually what I'm really looking forward to, right? Because I know she's been on a lot of the BookMine calls, and I've had a few conversations with her, but now I actually get to really dig a little bit deeper. And so, yeah, I'm really excited about this.
Yeah. All right. So, first question up for you, Sigal, is just what was your entry point into reselling? And then eventually, how did you end up here with this crazy idea of buying a book on Amazon and then flipping it back on Amazon for profit?
I heard Chris Grant on a podcast that I listened to.
Uh-huh.
Obviously, it wasn't Clear the Shelf. And then, so I started following Chris Grant. Then he interviewed Flip for Miles.
Okay.
And I started following him. So I purchased the FBA roadmap. So I started selling on Amazon. That was August of 2022.
Okay.
And pretty soon after, I discovered Steve Raken and Avery's content about bookselling. So we did a trial for Scout IQ, and I started scanning all of the books at home, and we have a lot of cookbooks. There were a handful that I could sell, and then we started thrifting for books in addition to traditional OA.
Right. Okay. Sounds good. And then how did the transition from that thrifting to like trying A2A, how
Yeah.
did that work?
Yeah, so around February of 2023-ish, Avery started to promote his go-to-lister, and somehow I ended up on his, because I was consuming his content, I ended up on his list, and he was doing those boot camps and or book clubs, something
Yeah.
like Wednesday night.
Yeah, I remember that.
And the first one, Georgie showed up. Georgie used to show up to all of them, but the first one, yeah, Avery mentioned that, oh, Georgie's YouTube, go watch, follow Georgie. So, okay, that's interesting. I'll go and check that.
Okay.
And then, yeah, March of 2023, I started buying books on Amazon, and immediately books started selling. So there was a proof of concept, and I kept doing that.
Yeah. What's interesting is you started with traditional online arbitrage, did thrifting, and then did A2A book flips, right? That's a bunch of different ways to sell. So why do you think, you kind of settled in focusing on A2A and not necessarily the thrifting or traditional OA?
Thrifting worked in my area for maybe 6-ish months. And my husband was doing all of the thrifting. So at least that was really nice.
Doing hard work out there.
Yeah, he was scanning and he was so fast. Like when I would go, I don't know what to do, and he was scanning accept, or more reject, and
Yeah.
one ding. And then all of a sudden, the libraries in our area started selling online
Okay.
and scanning their books. So it essentially dried out. It wasn't enough, like estate sales and stuff. It wasn't enough to justify having given the app.
Okay.
And online A2A worked for me very well. My husband did a little bit of Keepa, but he said he wanted to get back to that, so we'll see.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good.
I do have a question. So you mentioned you did a lot of traditional OA initially and then thrifting with books. But what drew you into books? Why did you decide, okay, books is really where I want to be, right? Because you started thrifting books and then Amazon to Amazon with books. What was the draw for books for you?
I still do OA,
Okay.
so I still do traditional OA in addition, which helps in February and March, not when there are no book sales. So yes, it does feel like I have two businesses, which is
Yeah.
not easy.
Cool.
I books are easier for me to source most of the time, and yeah, I enjoy books,
Yeah.
but I also do traditional OA.
Yeah. It's really interesting that you do both because a lot of people, especially in the traditional OA space, look down on books. Like, why would you ever do books? You should do traditional online arbitrage. And I think usually the argument is way more volume. Like you can buy a bunch of like a single unit. So why is it that, as somebody who does traditional OA and even started with that, why is it that you're like, I still want to do books? Like, why not just stick to
Yeah,
traditional OA?
margins are unbeatable.
Yeah. So actually to prove that point, right? Because I was leading Sigal somewhere. Oh, you good. We want to show you some of these margins that Sigal is hitting. So I posted, hey, is anyone, crushing
Oh,
out there with books? So this is Sigal here.
oh,
This particular book, she said she bought it for 1980, sold for 2 months. She says, I'm pretty sure this was an inflated buy box, but no worries. So you flip that for 150. The clothing of Renaissance art, which is pretty crazy. And then
That's awesome.
yeah, in the same post, you have a couple more. You have this one here, Sigal. This looks like bought sometime in late April, May, $55. And then you sold it for 287, $177 profit, which is just crazy. And again, that's you right there. That's Sigal.
Yeah.
And then there's one more down here. Where is this at? Yeah, buy for 15, sell for 100. So I think that's a high school book, right? Western Heritage.
Yeah.
But I believe, and I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure somewhere
oh,
you
you
told me you
didn't.
sold the
The
book for like 1500 or
1600,
something, right?
1600.
16. So tell us the story behind this book you flipped.
Yeah, we have to hear that.
Okay, so I said I'll use Victor's spreadsheet
Okay.
to source for high value books.
Okay.
Okay.
So I generated a keeper list of books that are normally selling above $100
Okay.
Ooh, okay.
and started and put the keeper and updated the keeper and updated the spreadsheet, started sourcing, and I found that book for $400 on eBay.
Good. That's a lot of
Okay.
spend on one book.
Yes, but I saw every single sale was between 800 and 1600, and there were no other sellers, or there was
Crazy.
one merchant.
Yeah.
So I did buy the book, and it sold for 1600.
So you probably almost made $1,000 on that, I'm assuming. It's probably like
900 is
900.
yeah.
Wow.
This is what I'm telling people, Victor. You can make $900 on a single book flip. That is
Doesn't always work this way.
Yes, it doesn't always work, and you're right, but this is really cool to find the one book to do that. So, I mean, wow, congrats.
yeah. And I mean, those were 3 or 4 other posts again on that one Facebook post where you were showing some of the margins, which are incredible. Let's get into just roughly, if what were your 2020? Because I know you started I think you said you started in 2022, and then in 2023 you learned about OA and then 80-way flips. But let's just go back last year, 2024, your year to date. Do you remember what your revenue was? And then 2025, we're here in September, mid-September. What is your year to date? You wouldn't mind telling?
Yes, so I can even go back. 2023, I did 120,000.
Okay.
2024 was 159,000.
Nice.
Wow.
And this year I'm already at 134,000
And do you
in
think,
sales.
what's your trajectory looking like? Are you going to end
And
around the same?
I'll be close to 200,
Yeah, I'm thinking
180 or 200,000
Yeah.
190.
in sale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy.
Wow.
I mean, I know I mentioned this in the intro, but you do have a 9 to 5 job, right? So,
Yeah.
what is it that exactly you do? I mean, just briefly, and then when is the normal time when you're working on the Amazon business?
I work during the day, so I start before 9, probably 8-ish and come back anywhere from 5 to 6 sometimes later. And then I sit down. I make sure I buy my books. I also have a VA that sources for books, so at least I buy what she sources. Yeah, she did. So I hired her after VA Academy, like Michelle mentioned VA Academy. So
Nice.
Okay, that's great.
yeah. Um, so she's sourcing for books. She doesn't buy that. She's not confident enough to buy. So
Okay.
I make the decision and buy. So
Right.
at least at the minimum, I go over her leads. Otherwise, they disappear.
Right. Because so she does that on a daily
Because
basis then? She has
yeah.
okay.
And then if I don't have enough, I hope to hit 10 books a day if I can.
Okay. Yeah, that's one of my questions is did you have a daily book goal or a spend goal?
Yeah, but I wish I could be more consistent.
I mean, the thing is, like, even if the cool thing is that even though you may not hit it every single day, it's like the thinking about it, you're still consistent enough, right? When we Victor and I say 10 books a day, it's not like if one day you miss and you get 9 books, like your business is destroyed, right? So that's cool. Would you
Yeah.
say that that having that consistency was big in the business?
Yes, yes. Yeah, you need to buy in order to sell.
Exactly.
So, Sigal, I see you like every year has really been moving up in your sales, right? You first started at 120, and now you last year was 160, and maybe get close to 200,000. Do you see a limit to where you are going? Do you want to stop at a certain point? Will you be happy at a certain level, or do you just, as far as I can scale, I'm going to keep scaling?
I want to be able to cover my lifestyle. So,
That's great. Okay.
yeah, to replace my income.
Replace your
That's the goal. So, yeah.
That's the goal.
Mhm.
Sheesh. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because Victor and I both became financially independent, but we didn't like a big part of that was book selling, right, Victor?
Yeah, right.
And I think time and time again, the people that we're bringing on who are BookMine members who are crushing it, those people tend to just be really hard workers, right? They already have a job.
Yeah.
And obviously one of the limiting factors of doing this is capital, right? It's like you have to have some money. So how did you start with, that seed capital? Was it just money that you had saved from your job? And then do you actively put more money in from your job? Or is it like its own ecosystem now?
Well, thrifting helped,
Yeah.
right? That's the way to
Thrifting is the highest ROI
raise
margins, right? Yeah.
capital. Eh, I did, I would say probably I started with $2,000
Wow.
for, yeah, for to get started.
Yeah.
Yes, it's growing. I didn't pay myself a few times, but I think it's all like a cycle now. Yeah,
Yeah. It's just its own ecosystem.
a
It's just,
snowball.
yeah, it's slow roll.
Nope.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
starting from 2000 and getting a 200K in revenue in a matter of a few years is pretty insane. So you should definitely be proud of yourself there. Um,
Mm-hmm.
One thing that, Victor and I try to do is bring more women into book selling because we both believe that it's equal opportunity. I don't know what your thoughts are on that. I mean, do you think that this is also like A-to-A book flipping that is accessible to women as equally as it is to men? What are your thoughts having, experienced it?
Definitely. I Yeah, there's no problem.
Yeah, that's great. And it's just good for you to say that because Victor and I can say that, but we're men. So if we're like, "Screw you," yeah, but you're a guy, you're not a woman. So it's good to hear even Michelle say that as well.
Yeah, because when people go and buy books from us, they don't know whether or not we're the business is run by a guy or a female, and that's what I try to explain to some of the female who are like, "Well, I see it from you who are saying that, but where are the women at?" Right? So it's always good to hear it from both sides.
Yeah. Um,
I didn't even consider it
yeah,
might be a problem.
which is great.
There is no reason, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
I mean, when you look at our audience, like we're skewed men, definitely more men than women. So our goal is to also try to get more women in this because, again, we think that there's tremendous opportunity for everyone. So, anyways, I just want to ask that. How long would you say it took you until you really feel like you got the hang of Amazon to Amazon flips where it clicked. You're like, okay, I know what I'm doing now. I have a pretty good idea that if I buy this book, it's going to be profitable. And I have a pretty good idea that I shouldn't buy this book. And here's why. How long did that take you until it clicked?
I think I'm getting better. So it's a process. And recently I noticed I'm passing on many more books that my VA is putting on the list.
Okay.
Because I say, this keeper looks similar to what I've tried before.
Right.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm learning. I'm a little bit more selective, and yes, and I still have books from 2024 that I need to double check and try to liquidate.
Are you what are you targeting for, let's say, return on investment or is it an ROI
What
target,
so
profit per goal?
when I source, like Michelle said, 100%.
Wow.
When
And
I
this,
source,
it's okay to just do that. The fact that anyone can say, yeah, I don't buy anything unless I get 100% ROI.
but I did hear Brian say multiple times, oh, well, so I think if it's a fast moving book,
Yes.
Yeah.
I can settle for less.
Yeah. But always the target is 100% ROI, right?
I look at the 100%. Yeah, but if I think I can still make profit even if it's slower. And it
Yeah.
also depends on the dollar amount, right?
Right.
Mhm.
Clearly, you're not afraid to spend $400 on a single book. I'm gonna say that's pretty insane to spend $400 on a book. But again, it's Keepa, right? If you believe the Keepa chart is correct, I mean, how could that not make you just really be confident? I mean, buying a book for 400, flipping it for 1,600, that's just wild.
Yeah, I set the repricer to 800 to 1,600.
800, 1,600.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I
That's
did
incredible.
sell a Bible for 800 and I spent 100. So I do have some bigger.
Wow. Some long tail books like that.
You bought one for 100 and flipped it for 800. That's wild.
Yeah.
That's just crazy.
What are we doing, Joji?
I'm not doing that. I'm not
I'm
buying
not
books
doing
for
that
100 flipping
either.
it for 800. It's cool
Yes,
if you
you
do love money.
are. You spend $70 on some of those.
Yes,
It's
yeah,
like-
we do, but not $400 and then make $1,600 or to sell it for $1,600.
Yeah.
So congrats. That's really
It always
And
looks
I'm
great.
joking, and I still take what Georgie shows on his YouTube channel as
Doge is a great teacher. Well, so is Victor. So I'm glad that we're out here helping.
yeah,
And
you both are, and I learn so much from both of you.
what would you say your approximate success rate is on books? Like, are you 5 out of every 10 books you buy, you're profitable? 10 out of 10 books, probably not. 7 out, like, what would you guess your percentage is on successful book flips, meaning like they flip profitably?
I don't know.
What
I used to, yeah. So the thing is, I used to do your spreadsheet with like writing down every sale, and I stopped doing that. I need to find a more automated way to update the spreadsheet. If it depends on me, it's not getting done.
Yeah. That's
Better
not
to
the fun
buy
part,
my
right?
books.
Yeah. The fun part is sourcing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And maybe Victor can figure out how to update the spreadsheet and then.
I know.
All right, so then I guess another question to ask about that is, how many books do you liquidate in a year?
Roughly.
I
10, 20?
yeah, I don't know.
No, that either. Okay. Okay.
I don't know, and and I still have a few to go one by one and check where I am, and yeah.
Okay, let's have some resolution there. Do you flip
Mm.
more books for a profit or more
I
books?
still. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm assuming so. You started with 2,000 and then now you're selling 200,000 in revenue.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. One of the cool things about books, Victor, is like the margins are so high that it's like one of the few businesses where you could really still not know your numbers too well and still probably be doing really well because the margins are crazy. And a lot of businesses,
There's so much cushion there. As you can see, there's so much cushion here that you don't have to get down to every specific book and see what every book is doing. It's just not profitable. And that's why when some people are talk about, well, I'm gonna have to store the book for 4 months and that storage cost, and really, have you worked out the numbers here? You're talking about pennies, right? Literally 5 cents every month or less to hold a book. And so if you can't hold this book for 20 cents and 20 cents is gonna break you, then I don't know. You don't understand how profitable books are.
Yeah. What's your mix of seasonal versus all year round books?
Yeah. I like this question.
Um, I did very well with high school books. I never bought the lead list for Christmas books, and I feel that I try to do the buy for 5, sell for 25.
Yeah.
That often doesn't work. Sometimes you sell it for 20 or 18, and sometimes Amazon says, "Oh, it's too expensive," and
Sometimes,
but
yeah,
so those I don't spend my time on those anymore, but I need to find better, like, Christmas books.
yeah, the
Well,
hard part about
you buy some high school books. Do you also buy college books?
Yes, I sold a lot of
Oh,
college
textbooks.
books.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
yeah, the Christmas is like the low hanging fruit of Christmas are any books with Christmas in the title, but there's a ton of Christmas books that sell really well during Christmas that are not Christmas oriented. They're like gifts for Christmas, right? And
Yeah.
like the
Gift with
money in
Christmas.
Christmas is finding
Yeah.
the books that are gifted for Christmas that aren't about Christmas. You know what I mean? So that's definitely where, finding those books is like where a lot of the money's at. But would you say that high school or college textbook season, which one do you like better? Which one would you say you thought you did better on?
My January was pretty good, and that was also residual from the OA Q4, so I can't really say which one was better. But definitely both of my Augusts, 2024 and 2025 were my best month.
Right.
Mm.
Yeah, always the biggest hump, right?
Yes,
So
yes.
so
Yeah.
you still do traditional OA and you do books, right? And it seems like you're both profitable at both, but you don't necessarily know which one, I guess, is, or like, do you have a gut feeling as to which one maybe was
So it depends on the season. Like in August, probably close to 80% of my profit came from books.
books, right?
Mm.
Okay.
Eh, but then December, I do more OA.
Yeah, that's cool.
How many books do you have in stock normally? Say this was like the beginning of August. How many not high school, but how many books altogether would you say you have in inventory?
So early August, I think I had probably 1,200
Okay.
books.
Yeah.
And I saw the decline in my inventory
Yeah.
throughout August.
That's why I asked the beginning of August, right?
Yeah.
'Cause some people ask me how many books do I have in stock at the beginning of September, and I'm like, you really don't want to ask me this because it's a really low number. It's like 400 books, and they're like, 400. That's all you have? And I'm like, well, I mean, if you would ask me in the beginning of August, that's a whole different number. We have like 3,000 books then, right? But at the end of it just keeps on depleting, which is a really good problem to have. But yeah, that's why I asked the beginning of August. That's good.
Yeah, sounds good. And what is your strategy for those seasonal high school, college textbooks? Are you more of a person who likes to just buy like 1 or 2 units of a bunch of books and be super, diversified? Or are there some books you are going deeper on, 10 copies, 20 copies, etc.?
I think the most I went on a book was maybe 8 copies. Yeah, so I don't go very deep.
Yeah.
And I did get burned
Oh,
with yes, so it was 2024. I had the Green Mile psychology,
yeah.
Okay.
and that never recovered. I still had it in stock this year, and I liquidated like for pennies, essentially for nothing. Those I had 6 copies. So, and I also noticed this year that some of the books I purchased like in March, the offer count increased before book season. I didn't have many of those, but at least 1 or 2. And those that I purchased and or let's say shipped in July and August were awesome. They sold right away.
Nice.
So yeah, but I will normally just wait to start my shopping in July. But then there is a better gauge of what the book is going to do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that Green Myers book, I think it is Rent You now in 2024 brought in so many copies, well over 200 copies on that listing, which really tanked the listing. And so that can just happen, right? That happens to all of us. That there's really nothing we can prepare for when that happens. But what you have to take back a step back is realizing that very few of those books are going to tank like that. The vast majority of them are going to go as predicted and go back, and spike during the textbook season.
Yeah. I mean, that's the hardest part as well, for your emotional, your psyche, like, when so many people wanna focus on, like, what doesn't do well, right? And so you could, Victor and I talk about this all this time. People hate the idea of losing, right? It's like, even if you win on a lot of these other books, it's like your mind still gravitates to like, these 6 copies, right? They didn't do well. So, yeah, I don't know, how have you dealt with that? Because clearly you're still here selling books, even despite the fact that you had some that were losers.
Oh, yeah, just move on, buy more books.
Well said. I mean, at the end of the day, you just gotta let go, right? You gotta let go and realize you can't be 100%. And if we could be 100%, I wouldn't be buying a bunch of books anyways. I would just be buying one book and putting all my money into that one book if I knew which book was just gonna absolutely 100% perform well, right? Because that's the best way.
Yeah, but I also did your trick. At least with one book, I did your trick of buying early, selling in June, buying more, selling in July. I had one that it worked.
Thank
Yeah,
you really well.
that I replenished during the year.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. We talk about that. Yeah, that really high school book textbook season can be broken into like three seasons. So
Yeah.
that was great.
Definitely a much more advanced
Hmm.
place where, yeah, it takes a lot more thought and a lot more updating on keep a spreadsheet or keep on spreadsheets and, using Keep a lot. So very cool there. What is the way that you are currently sending your books to the Amazon warehouse? Are you using a prep center? Are you doing the prep yourself?
Yeah, my books are all going, 90% going to Central Virginia Prep.
Central Virginia prep. Okay. And then are you having your VA manually update that spreadsheet? Do you do that? How does that work?
Central Virginia Prep, the prep center. No, I finished buying all of my books and then I just copy and paste, so it's not too bad.
Okay. Yeah, a lot of the people who have issues with prep centers, it's like when they have books that I guess I'll ask you, how often is it that you do have problems with the books that show up? Like you have to return them, you're missing books, etc.
It happens occasionally, missing books, and sometimes it's the same seller, so I kind of stopped buying from those sellers.
Right. Wise business strategy. Yeah.
Yes.
And then sometimes the wrong books or like water damage when it was marked as good or something. And not very often, maybe one every couple of weeks, one, two.
Okay.
I need to return a few. Yeah,
Yeah.
a few here and there.
But
Yeah.
mostly not an issue in the grand scheme of everything.
Not a huge issue. Yeah, and I do get the refund most of the times.
Yeah.
Now I have one that I paid $8 and I don't know if it's worth my time because it wasn't Amazon or eBay.
Oh.
So they
Oh,
asked
yeah.
for pictures
Yes.
and
Returns on nothing besides Amazon and eBay are much more difficult.
yeah, I know you. I heard you saying that a few times.
Thank
So
you.
Yeah. So what do you say to the people who are like, yeah, but both they get returned and then you have to worry about all the returns that you get after you sell the book, the customer returns it. I mean, what happens
oh
then? Is that
yeah,
an issue?
I have a death pile here that I need to check if I want to send them back to Amazon. It's a little bit so I get them back home.
Okay.
I don't understand why Amazon are not putting it back in my inventory. It's a used book. They send it back as defective.
Yeah.
Uh,
Same. Yeah. It's just one of the
yeah, so
was not scope below.
yeah, I reevaluate, and some of them I send back, some of them I decide to either keep it on the shelf as merchant or keep it on the shelf for next season or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I imagine you know that, but you could just put the address to Central Virginia Prep, so they all just go back to the prep center.
I want
They can do that.
to, yeah, I want to evaluate and
Yeah,
what to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
makes
I mean, it's definitely up to you to want to see the returns or not.
so.
So what do you do?
When did you actually start getting a prep center? Did you get one right when you first started? And
Oh
how did you
no,
decide Central Virginia Prep?
it took me forever.
Okay, yeah, that happens to a lot of people.
Yeah, as I said, I've been following Georgie for a very long time. I think it has been maybe like May of 2024, so just over a year, maybe half of the, yeah, my
Yeah,
selling career.
I'm
It
assuming
took
it's
me a
worth
long
it.
time.
I'm assuming it's
It,
working. You had to figure it out.
yes, yes, yes. Yes, definitely prep time was, yeah, was much longer. And now, so I used to spend, because books is every single individual.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know if I should say that, but I wasn't a huge fan of Go to Lister. It was good for books, but not for OA, and I didn't like that I cannot reuse the SKU.
Uh-huh.
There were a few things I didn't like. So yeah, so I would list on Seller Central. So eventually I learned to upload a spreadsheet, and that helped, but it takes such a long, so it takes few hours to update
Sure.
the inventory.
Yeah.
So I would do it Saturday, I would upload, and then on Sunday I'll do my labels and
Put them
return
in a
the
box
shipment.
and ship them. Yeah.
So it would take probably 8-ish hours for the entire process to
But it
get the
wasn't fun,
shipment.
right? That's not, at least for me, that's not the fun part of doing this business.
It's a top part is clicking buy now, and they said we're gonna have a see this sell this for 3 or 4 times what I bought it for. That's the fun part,
Mhm.
right? What is your so I know you have a daily book goal, roughly 10 books a day. I know you have a VA that helps you out, that gives you a list of books when you do get home. Would you say that you're working on the business every single day? And if you had to average it out, like I'm sure some days you work a couple hours and some days you probably skip, but like on average, what would you say you work? And then is it kind of every day or 3 times
Yeah,
a
I
week?
definitely would do something every day, and almost every day I either listen to whatever live show of some kind related,
Yeah. Okay.
and meeting people like masterminds. Those are mostly OA people though.
Okay.
But almost every night I have something else other than just sourcing and buying.
Okay. That's so
Great.
cool. By the way, Sigal and her husband are going to be at Books and Beyond in Las Vegas this year, which is going to be really excited. I'm incredibly excited to meet you, Sigal, because we've been doing exchanges back and forth for it seems like a couple years now. And of course, I know what you look like in person because I've seen you on calls and stuff. But it'd be cool to meet you in person and just kind of hang out and get to talk. So excited that you will be there in Las Vegas, October 10th through 12th, Victor. So
Yeah.
that's a lot of fun. Um, a lot of people worry about book selling being saturated, especially online book arbitrage. Victor and I, they go, Joji, you have 4,000 subscribers. Victor, you have 3,000 people in your Facebook group.
Yeah.
Even though there's 100 million books on Amazon, it's way too saturated. What are your thoughts to that?
I haven't felt it. I can still find books.
Yeah.
I use all of the techniques. So I use Keepa, all of the Keepa filters, Keepa deals. I do have a lot of alerts, but too many. So, and then mostly it's like high school book that is not a season to buy or something, or it tanked and now it's below my target, but I don't want to buy it. So, yeah, so the keeper alerts, I don't look every day.
Yeah.
And then I use BookMine. Okay, so I really, after you added BookMine Mini, I really like, so at least once a day, I go over those 50 books.
Yeah.
Good.
And then I do BookMine. I'm not very good at, or I'm choosing not to apply too many filters. So I just sort them by the BookMine score and then
Yeah.
go down the list. And I look at 100, 200 books, and
And
I always find something.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's the cool part, right? Because my opinion, just looking at the keeper graphs is like the most valuable part. Like the books are on there for a reason, so just look at the keeper graphs, right? And it's pretty quick. I mean, at this point, you've looked at easily tens of thousands of keeper graphs, so you kind of have a general idea, right, of a pattern you're looking for.
Yeah.
Um, so would you say like what were some of the mistakes that you can remember vividly early on that you're like, if I had to go back again, like, okay, I wouldn't do that. That you can pass along to a newbie watching this video right now. That would help them.
Maybe buying a low book or two that I shouldn't have because there was a new edition coming.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is still sometimes an issue with college textbooks that
Yeah.
I a new edition came out and I did not predict it. I mean, it's not that when I purchased it was still supposedly good and all of a sudden it's gone. So,
Yeah.
and low, like Victor keeps saying, low books are those most
Yeah.
sensitive.
Law books.
A lot
Yeah.
of books.
Yeah.
They're
Hmm.
very sensitive. And yes, I also had to go through that same
I don't even buy
Well,
books.
still have, so I have a low book that I purchased in 2023, and I think someone purchased it. Someone bought it and returned it. So it came back home. So I listed it and put it on the shelf merchant. And just this year, someone bought it for $25 and I said, okay, you can have it.
at
But
least
they
someone's willing to buy
returned
it.
it.
Yeah.
So yeah, but then they returned it. So I paid for all of the shipping back and forth. And then I sent it with my husband to the recycling bin. And he sometimes digs books from the recycling bin. So it's back in my pile.
Oh, he got it. There's throwing this bit today.
He said he went a day later and said, "Look what I found. I think it's a good book. Why won't you check it?" They said, "Yeah, you took it out there."
Wow. Funny story, that book. It's a
Yeah.
memento.
So I know I'm not going to list it again because I already decided.
That book has scarred you. The law books, for anyone, yeah, who's listening to this, easiest way to get burned, just because there's a lot of things you need to know about law books to make it work. And even knowing that, I'm still like, it's almost like a coin flip. And I don't know about you both, but if buying a book, being profitable as a coin flip is not very good odds. So I'm not going to buy
Yeah,
it.
it's
That's how.
it's law books are dangerous, and so I've always said unless you're a really seasoned bookseller, don't even consider law books.
Yeah.
And but that only takes away maybe a percent of the actual the amount of books out there. So just stay away from law books. There's a ton of other books out there, and focus in on those until you become a seasoned seller.
What would you say out of the, let's say, 10 book daily goal you have, what number of those books would you say are just you rebuying a book you've successfully flipped? In other words, a replan versus you or your VA went out scouting for a brand new, not a new book, but a used book, but a different used book you'd never sold before. What's the split there? Is it like 5 of the books are replans, 5 of them are just books you've never sold before, or what's the range?
There are many. Yeah, okay, so I cannot tell you percent. We always, so I don't source a whole lot with the spreadsheet.
Okay.
So, and when I source with the spreadsheet, it's normally like when it's time to buy textbooks.
Yeah.
So there are many books that are repeating that I say, oh, I've sold it before. It worked before. Let's reevaluate and see what I sold it for. So I can often see that especially with seller amp, that there is a price already.
Oh, yeah, you look at it.
Yeah, yeah, there are books that I can tell, oh, I either have it in the inventory already or I sold it before. So I do see them again, but it's not that I'm searching for those replens unless it's that textbook that, oh, I just sold it and it was good. Let me see if I. Occasionally, I would say, oh, I sold it today. Let's see if I can find another one.
Yeah,
Okay.
that makes sense.
Good.
So when it comes to you working your 9 to 5 job right now, that's a reliable source of income, right? I'm assuming you're a great worker. You do your job, right? Which is great. And you get paid again a predictable check. And you kind of told us that, hey, maybe you want book selling to replace your income, right? So, you know, I guess where are you thinking you would need to get to in terms of like revenue in order for that to actually come true?
It depends on the margin, right?
Of
Yeah,
course.
that's true.
That's a much better
But
question.
yes, I would say probably close to 500,000 in sales.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, there is still a way to go.
Yeah. And so would you say that what is the number one variable that's or what's the number one limiting factor for you getting that? Is it just the available capital? Is it the amount of time? Because you have been successfully growing,
Yeah. Yes, yes.
but one could argue at why not just triple down, quadruple down, right?
Yeah.
Yes, so it's time. Eh, so you interviewed several people that help
Uh-huh.
VAs, and some of them say, "Oh, I'm still checking every single book," and others say, "Oh, the VA is buying." If the VA is buying and the VA is buying good books, then it's really not much time
Right.
problem. But right now, both my VA and myself feel a little bit better if I make the final decision.
Yeah.
So if I when I can get let go of that, then I can grow faster.
Yeah. I mean, going back to, I mean, there's many pivotal moments in the business, right, where you have to let go, such as a prep center, right? I don't know told us how long it took you to get a prep center, but then you
I mean, that
did.
was
You're like,
May
sorry.
2024. Yeah.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, of course I have a prep center. It can possibly, I don't know, could be the same with the VA. I guess it does depend on the quality of the books that the, eventually end up buying. But
So
okay.
Sigal, I think that question is we haven't answered that yet. So when did you actually get a VA, and what made the push to actually get one? Because a lot of people kind of go both ways, right? They decide they're like, well, they don't want to give up the chance of going to source, and some people want to do it on their own, and some people just want hands like they don't want anything to do with it. They just want other people to source for them. So when did you actually get a VA?
Georgie, when did you start VA Academy?
VA Academy, I think that's 2023. Yeah.
Yes, so I think I started. So I started from the very beginning. Yeah. So, I think it was June or July of 2023 that I hired, and she's still with me.
Wow.
Yeah,
So 2 years. And what do you, if you don't mind us asking, what is she working part time, full time? If you don't have to, you know, dive into the
I'm
numbers, but like
paying
salary, stuff like that.
her. I'm paying her monthly, so
Okay.
theoretically she's full time. I
Yeah.
don't think she works 8 hours a day.
Yeah.
But she's good, and she's giving me a bunch of books, and I'm making money, and she's more than doubling her salary in profit. So I mean, the profit is double her salary, so she pays for herself plus
Yeah.
some profit for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah. As
So
as
it's a
every employee
win-win.
should, right?
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. That's cool.
How
What are you doing right now for a repricer? Are you using the Amazon repricer? Are you using BigQuery? Or what are you doing?
I've just switched from channel marks to
Okay.
Aura.
To Aura. Okay.
After I heard you and I heard other people,
mhm.
and yes, so it's at least the interface is so much nicer.
Yeah.
Plus, the age strategies
Yeah.
are pretty nice.
Yeah. That's something that I wasn't doing before either. I really do like that. And Victor, you still use the Amazon repricer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I did see Aura when you were using it, and I thought that the interface was much simpler, much easier to understand than
Yeah.
Be Cool. So I was like, okay. So I think it's either the Amazon Repricer or Aura. So yeah, I'm happy you chose Aura because I like the fact that also it's automated. Like you can set up once this book hits 180 days, I want the repricing rule to kick in, and I think that's really cool.
Yeah, I did use Be Cool for a while too,
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I decided it was too expensive
yeah,
for the better plans. And yeah, Channel Max, the interface was even less friendly than any. But I'm comfortable using spreadsheets. So
yeah, yeah.
yeah, I always upload all of the books once they're shipped. I upload with a spreadsheet.
The thing that Victor and I always preach again is 10 books a day. It's really just consistency, right? And it goes beyond just book selling. I believe consistency in anything that you do is really ultimate, which is ultimately what will make you successful, right? It's the trial and error, getting better, more experience, and so on. Um, do you agree with that? And then is there anything else besides the consistency that you can clearly put a pin on as this is what's really making me successful with selling?
No, just do the work.
Just do the work. All right. Just gotta do the work.
Just
Okay. But a follow up to that, a lot of people who get into this are really excited. Victor, Joji, let's get started. I want to go ahead and sell 600,000 a year, or I want to be like Sigal and sell 200,000 a year.
Yeah.
But I've only got 500 bucks to my name. They're like, okay, that's gonna be a lot harder. So the question to you is somebody who is watching this and they're like, I've got 1,000 bucks or 500 bucks. What would be the path that you say do this if you're starting with 500 bucks and you want to go the same route?
I would say probably thrifting. Thrifting probably would be the fastest way to grow your capital.
Yeah.
And in the meanwhile, learn to look at Keepa, learn to really read the data, make good decisions.
Was there a point when you learned Keepa really well and you're like, it was a massive shift in the business? Like, do you remember when that was?
Yeah, I look at graphs all the time, right? So
yeah.
Pretty
you
good
know
spot,
how
right?
to read a graph.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
I
you
guess
got it right.
that's one of the other limiting factors is more analytical, right? Not everyone has that mind. And that's why Victor and I try to draw analogies to mountains and
Yeah, this is a mountain. Do you see this mountain? Okay,
yeah.
then you can
Step
understand the graph.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
A
So
lot of people don't see the same graphs, right? They see a graph and their just eyes glaze over.
yeah. Now a lot of people I would say are kind of bearish about selling on Amazon. And what I mean by that is negative overall. Amazon always has new fees. Amazon's changing this. They're trying to shut you down. How do you grapple with there probably being some level of truth that, it has become harder to sell on Amazon over time. What are your thoughts on the longevity of it for you? Like, is this something that you foresee yourself doing the next 2 to 3 years? And, what are your thoughts?
Yeah. Just adapt and keep going. I did have a section 3 exactly in textbook buying season.
Oh,
I went and kept my money for a little bit. So yeah, March I didn't buy any books.
oh man. And so
Yeah.
what was the section
It
3 for?
was out. So it was 2 OAA since I
Okay.
don't think there was a good reason at all. I took about 2.5, 3 weeks to sort it out.
Fair enough.
I had an interview and they asked for documents. I submitted all of the documents and they ignored it for a little bit. They shut my account for 2 days and then I submitted again and now a person looks at it and everything is fine.
Yeah.
But those weren't books. It was an OA.
No, they were not books.
Okay.
Right. Have you ever had any sort of counterfeit claim or anything on a book?
No.
Yeah, I haven't had that yet. Okay.
People think that's crazy, and it's like, nah, it doesn't happen, or it rarely happens. Yeah, yes, every once in a while, you can get it.
I do check the calculator,
Yes,
but
yeah.
I did send a few that were, if you check it in retrospect, they were highly likely,
Yeah.
but they moved.
Yeah.
And then and now I do check all of the college books and yeah.
So
Only college books.
Sigal is mentioning Booksrun has a counterfeit probability calculator. Put the ASIN in, it tells you the likelihood that it's counterfeit. And if it says very likely, highly likely, we just recommend trying to stay away from that. And of course, if it says unlikely, it's not a guarantee. Nothing's a guarantee. Obviously, there's some level of risk, right? This isn't 100% risk free, just like nothing is 100% risk free, right?
Yeah.
But clearly, we're
Job
all
loss,
here.
right? You could get fired tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh.
Even your job, right, is not risk free. So, um, yeah, I think,
I got a question actually, Sigal. So how has your family taken in on all this? Like, are they supportive? Do they like what you're doing? Like your husband and maybe your other friends and family members? Do they think it's kind of like this, oh, crazy side business, or what do they all think about what you're doing?
My husband is trying to help.
Okay.
So my OA I still prep at home. So he takes all of the packages. If I have merchant fulfill, he takes everything to the post office. He sometimes finds some books and say, "Oh, look at this."
Okay.
And so yes, he's very supportive. I have two young adult kids, and
okay.
they're just near that. So
Okay.
yeah, we had one time I was traveling and my daughter had to ship a merchant fulfilled offer because I forgot to shut down my store. So she did. She did great. She printed the label. She did everything.
That's awesome.
And yes, when I tell my dad I want to leave my job, he says, "Oh, be careful. Make sure." Yes.
Just kind of in conclusion, I mean, Victor and I just are again really excited to have learn a little bit more about your story. Clearly, every year you're growing in your revenue numbers. Hopefully, that means you're also growing in your profit numbers. I think it's really interesting you do the traditional OA and the book mix for kind of a smoother ride throughout the year because Victor and I don't do that. We just do books. And obviously, there's a lot of people who only do OA. So it's cool that you've kind of merged both of those. I guess just to conclude, for anyone who's new watching this, even though we agree that it's going to take consistent work and it will take work, do you think it's still doable? Do you think people can still get into it? And any last tips or pieces of advice for them?
Yes, definitely doable. You need to learn.
Yeah.
So yes, there is a learning curve, and yeah, it takes work. It's not passive.
Yeah, there you go. It's an active thing. Although we will say it's cool that you don't have to do your own prep or ship or do customer service if you do FBA. So that's amazing as of right, just that part of it. So
Yeah.
Mhm.
anyways, Victor, any last minute parting words before we head on out?
No, it's just where can people find you if they want to like ask you a question, maybe on the Facebook groups? Are you on any specific one?
Facebook is not my favorite, and I think I'm not their favorite because they blocked some of my messages.
Okay.
Okay.
George's Discord is much better, which became quiet.
Yeah.
I do visit the Facebook once in a while,
Okay.
but yeah, I'm not. So it could be days until I see a message,
Yeah.
but
No, no.
people can message me.
So that Joji, and just happy we get to actually meet you, Sigal,
Yeah.
Yes,
and slowly.
thank you. Yes,
I'm happy you decided to come and get to meet your husband. And hopefully we'll get to help each other grow even bigger book businesses. And I really appreciate you coming on.
All right, guys. Sounds
Thank
good. And we'll see you guys on the next one. Bye bye.
All right, thanks.
Bye bye.